All right. So good morning, my wonderful virtual assistants and all the phenomenal things you guys are going to do. Mary has put together a great team. Good morning, Mary. How are you?
Good morning. How are you, Dr. Billy?
I am fantastic, fantastic. Okay, so we have Jen. Jen, how are you?
I am also good, Dr. Billy. Thank
Good,
you for
good. And
asking.
Jason.
Hi, Dr. Billy. Thank you. I'm good.
Good, good. So let me make this real simple for you guys about what we need. Okay. So first, I'm going to tell you about an insurance agency, and then I'm going to tell you what it takes to make an insurance agency successful and where you fit into all that and show you some other things. So first, let's talk about insurance. Okay. Insurance has a very simple purpose. We offer the coverage that best protects a person's quality of life should they ever have to file an insurance claim. So that means if they own a home, we're there to help recover that home if something bad happens. If they have a car, if they have life insurance, if they have health insurance, if they have any of those things, our job is to offer the coverage that will best protect their quality of life should they ever have to use our insurance or file a claim. Very simple. That's what we do. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yes.
Now, the way we do that is we look at three weaknesses. Okay. They either have no coverage, low coverage, or they're missing a supporting policy. What do I mean by no coverage? Meaning they don't have auto insurance and they need it, or they don't have a particular coverage on their homeowners and they need it. So there's no coverage. Or there's low coverage, meaning we know what, or we feel like we know what best will protect them at the minimum, and if they fall below that minimum, we need to point it out. We need to say, there's a problem. You don't need to go below this level. So that's low coverage. And then there's missing a supporting policy. So maybe you're married and you have kids. You need life insurance. Okay. Maybe you have a home and you don't have water backup, which for us, like your home floods or something like that, or we get flood insurance to keep your home. So we establish what's known as agency standards. That means that we talk from the minimum. We say, look, at a minimum, you need this. Okay. It's the same thing with your computers. When you guys decided you wanted to be remote virtual assistants, there was a minimum recommendation for your computer software, right? There was
Yes.
a minimum recommendation for the amount of RAM or the amount of ROM or the amount of power that your computer had. And now you can try to work without that, but it's going to be a problem when things go bad. That's how insurance is. Okay. We're going to recommend a minimum. And then based on that minimum, you can try to go below that minimum, but just know if you do, things are going to go bad. Okay. If you ever have to file a claim. So now you're like, okay, well, Billy, what does that have to do with us? Well, what it has to do with you is everyone on the team needs to understand what the purpose of the agency is. Everyone. So when you process paperwork, you're not just processing paperwork, right? Or admin stuff. You're doing it because it fits our vision for what we want to do in our agency. So when we quote, which primarily that's what you guys were hired for, is to quote. When we quote, you're quoting based on our standards. Okay. You're quoting based on what we know is best for the customer. So it's not about the field or the data that goes into the field. It's about how does that field actually or that data set best serve our customer. Okay. So when you're training, I don't want you guys just all caught up in the, oh, put the A here and put the one here and put the seven here. I want you to know why the one goes in that box and why the seven, because then you'll look at it differently. you'll have a better conversation. You'll have a better understanding of how important your job is. Because your job is very important to what we need to do in the agency. Does that make sense? All right.
Yes.
So now you're like, well, Billy, what is my job? What do I do? So I'm going to come over here to the video and document library and I'm going to type in VA. And that's going to pull up our little VA training box here. So first and foremost, these are the 14 or 15 primary things that happen in an insurance agency, right? First thing is we have to set up stuff. We set up scripts and templates and tools and technology and automation. We set up things so that the team can utilize them. Well, you guys are part of that setup. We market to prospects and customers. You guys are part of the marketing. We outbound prospect. Marketing is when we put out something and we hope that they respond. Prospecting is when we reach out to them. So you guys are part of the prospecting. Lead management. People are asking for quotes and they expect those quotes to get quoted and followed up on those quotes and contact me and let me know where I am. That's part of lead management. You guys are part of that. You'll be gathering data for that. Quote preparation, data input. You'll learn the different systems and the different carriers and all the different things and forms that we use to gather data. You guys can't sell because you're not licensed. New customer onboarding. Once that person becomes a customer, there's a whole different process that starts. You guys are part of that process. If there's anything customer facing that does not require a license, okay, or does not the state or the federal government does not require you to be licensed, then you guys will be a part of that customer facing potential as well. Claims, again, our whole purpose for insurance is a claim. Well, you guys will be involved in the claims process. Policy renewals, as customers get ready to renew their policies, you guys will be a part of that whole process of renewing, right? And I won't go through each one of these, but I want you to look at this. These are, I think they're 14 tasks that really it takes to run an agency. You guys are part of all of it except for four. Except for four. So don't think that what you do is not important. You guys are the bulk of what happens in an agency. And Mary, as the head VA, has been amazing, amazing. Okay. And helping to get things set up, helping to even recruit you guys and bring you on. She has been absolutely amazing with all of that. So I want you guys to understand you're not just dealing with someone who doesn't know what to do. You're also you're not dealing with someone who doesn't know what to do. You're dealing with someone who's passionate and who loves having the leadership and who has earned that leadership role. So I trust her 150%. You know, she's my right hand in that agency. So, and she's going to help train and she's going to help do everything. So, all right, Mary, is your head big? Your head getting a little big on me now? I'm just telling the truth, guys. I mean, it's not like I'm just telling the truth. Okay. Did I share that screen? Hold on. I was showing and talking and wasn't even showing you guys anything. Nobody said anything. Shame, shame, shame. Okay. So guys, can you see my screen now?
Yes. You can see your
Okay.
screen.
All right. So what you're looking at right here are all the major operations in an agency. And I won't go over each one because I kind of talked about it, but everything that's in white, a VA can handle. Everything that's in yellow, it takes a licensed person to handle. So as you can see, your role literally takes up 70 to 80% of everything we do in an agency. Okay. So how do we make sure you do your job? We train you. We have a very specific onboarding and training order that we do. Now, Mary has been training you on some things, but she's also going to utilize the way that this order, because this is important. This is how I validate that something is being done. Number one, learn agency standards. Here's what's so crazy. You'll know the standards better than the people who actually sell the insurance. Okay? Because you're going to be dealing with it every single day. So agency standards. Um, Jason, can you tell me what an agency standard is based on how I explained it earlier? You don't have to give me specifics. Just I want to make sure you understand the vision.
Um, Agency standard is like providing the best coverage to our client, giving them the best option
Well, it may
in
not be
case
the best option, but it's the minimum that we
minimum.
recommend. Okay, there may be better options, but we never want you to go below this floor. There may be a higher ceiling, but never go below this floor. Does that make sense?
That
Okay.
makes sense. Got
And
it.
so we'll make sure you guys understand those. We'll make sure you understand how to immediately look at a policy and be able to tell that customer is not within our standards. That's way too low. I mean, it's just numbers. Three is bigger than one. Okay. So when you can look at something and go, that's a three, we want them to have a three and they got a one, that's a problem. Then we'll teach you how to do our review form, which is a form that we'll set up. Mary and I are going to set up. It's really simple. You basically click one button and it shows you everything on that customer's record, what they have compared to what we want them to have. Okay. So it makes it really simple. And you're like, well, why do I need to know that? Because you're not just going to do one quote. Whenever we're quoting someone, you're going to quote what they ask for and you're going to quote what we recommend. Okay. So rarely will you ever do one quote. Next, learn to create a task. So communication is everything. How you communicate with the other team members, how you communicate with the customer, how you communicate within your own Slack channels, with all that. And so we use our agency management system to communicate, create tasks. We use Slack to create tasks and communicate, chat to create and communicate. So all of these things that are there. All right. I'm gonna cut my camera off for just a second here because I really want you to focus on this. This middle box, this is you. Learn to complete a paper quote sheet. And I know you guys are probably going, paper quote sheet. Wait a minute. I'm remote. I'm a computer person. I'm this, I'm that. But here's what we found. The paper quote sheet allows you to see the whole picture, allows you to see everything without you having to worry about, is that the right tab? Is that the right field? Did I click the right link? That you don't have to worry about any of that. You literally can just write down. So we're going to teach you to complete a paper quote sheet first. And then that paper quote sheet, we're going to teach you how to take that information and go into our PO Rater and go into our other quote engines and apply that data. And then we're going to teach you carriers. See, there's different ways that we quote in the insurance industry. Sometimes we write it down on paper, right? And then transfer it to another tool. Sometimes we start in a tool, but that tool doesn't give us everything we need, so we have to go to a different tool. Ultimately, we end up with carriers. Carriers are where, Travelers, Safeco, Liberty Mutual, Amwins, whatever, uh, we're quoting, where we actually get the real price, the real information, what that carrier says. I will give them insurance, but this is the price and this is the coverage. So there's three things you have to learn with quoting: paper, our quote engine, and the carriers. After we do that, then you're going to learn to do this thing called accord forms. You already may be familiar. I'm just going to assume that you're not. An accord form, or it's basically a way of us putting data in a system and transferring that data to the carrier. The carrier is the one that's actually on the hook for everything. We are the middle person. We're the ones that make sure the information is correct. We make sure we gather all the right data. We make sure the data that goes in the system is correct. But at the end of the day, the one that's on the hook for everything is the carrier. Like I say, your Travelers, Safeco, Hartford, Cincinnati. I could go and name and keep naming, but you get Progressive, all that. So We need to make sure that we're communicating with the carriers and giving them all the information that they need. And we do that through some different forms. Sometimes it's accord forms. Sometimes they'll send us other paperwork that says, I need the data, but I need it in this format. And so we'll apply that. You'll learn to process certificates of insurance, which is proof of insurance. Sometimes that proof goes to the insured. Sometimes that proof goes to people the insured is working with. That's called a certificate of insurance. If I have to prove to a city before that city will let me work that I have insurance, then that might need a certificate. Maybe I'm on a job and the job will not allow me to work until I give them proof that I have insurance. That's a certificate. Or maybe I'm just need a proof of ID. I'm driving around. I need proof of insurance for my car insurance because a cop pulls me over and says, "Do you have insurance?" So I need my ID cards to show that I have insurance. So we will learn to process certificates of insurance, which is proof of insurance. You'll also learn how to process renewals because every time we write a new customer, we want that customer to renew with the agency. Sometimes that requires us to have to requote them to see if there are better prices or better coverages or a better company for them. That requires us notifying them that they're coming up for renewal, which we automate that whole process. But it requires us getting data. Maybe I'm an employee, or excuse me, I'm an employer and I just hired 4 new employees. Well, that affects my insurance. So that might mean that I need to provide that data or provide information on those employees so that my insurance is up to date. Just like we're hiring you, we need to now go in and make sure that we've got you listed on all of our payroll, on all of our records, on all of our everything so that we're up to date. Well, as one of the owners, I'm not going to sit here and go, let me fill out this paperwork. No, I'm going to hand that off to my virtual assistant and let them fill out the paperwork. So that might mean you getting data from other people. And then some people just are going to cancel. They're going to leave us, right? For whatever reason. Maybe they found a better price or they found a better carrier. They couldn't afford the bill, whatever. They're going to leave us. Well, we need to manage that as well. We need to cancel policies that should be canceled. We need to restart policies that should be restarted. So all of that. So these boxes that you see here is part of your onboarding and your training. So it's a lot more than just, oh, I need to learn how to quote. No, I need you to be an integral part of the agency, a very important part of the agency. Okay? You're not just here for just to put data in a field and go, I'm done. No, I want you to feel like you're part of our family, part of what we do. Does that make sense? And we're going to take care of you like you're part of the family. This is not, we're going to, just give you a project and that's the end of it. No, I want to know how you're doing, how you feel like you can improve. I want to teach you things that you can apply in other areas of your life and other jobs that you work with. So you're not just here to be a robot. You're here for all of us to benefit, for all of us to learn. Mary is learning things right now that she didn't know a year ago. Right, Mary? Right? And learning about tools and learning about how to implement, how to set up things. But these are skills and resources that she will take with her the remainder of her career. And that's how we want it to be for you. You're not just here to benefit us and to serve us. You're here for all of us to grow together. So we take an interest in your life, just like we want you to take an interest in our business. Does that make sense? Okay. Mary, boss lady,
Yes.
what do you have to say to them?
I do have to say that even though they just started yesterday, they are fast learners, and I can see that they're very passionate and that I'm very positive that they will fit into the company or our agency's like dynamic. And I'm pretty sure that together as a team of VAs, we will help the company grow and achieve its goals. So I'm very excited. And also with your assistance, Dr. Billy, as well, I'm just very happy right now.
Oh, I'm glad of that. I'm glad everything's working out. All right, so let's get some feedback from you guys. Jen, what are your initial thoughts and what are your initial comments? There's no right or wrong answer. I just want to get an idea of what you feel, what you're thinking.
Yeah, I'm very excited to learn more. Just like yesterday when we discussed a brief discussion about the tools and everything that we need to do in the future, so that may or that provide us a little bit of insight on um, what are the things that we will be equipped in the future on how to perform well. And also, I would like to say that yesterday, when Mary is onboarding us, she's really a great help because at first, since it's our first day, we as an expectation that we may not know everything yet. However, Mary shows us like it's easy to learn everything because of the support system, because of our tools and our the things that we needed, or the things that we can just pull out anytime that we need to, like this this
The
the data
system process.
system, yes, the process that we do have. If we need to ask something, we can pull it out in our G Drive or Google Drive, or we can ask one of the team members and also ask Mary. So, yeah,
Good.
that's
And that's why we also have you record. So the way we do it is as you're learning it, you don't record it. Once you know it, once we feel very comfortable that you can go back and repeat it, whatever the process is, or whether you're inputting data or whether you do whatever, we have you record it. We have you recorded for us and we have you recorded for you. I have Mary recording all the time, don't I, Mary? So, but again, it creates a library, a training library for the agency, but it also creates a reference for you to be able to go back. Because we're not going to, nobody remembers everything. Nobody remembers everything. But when we can reference it, that makes life easy. So be prepared. You're going to do a lot of recording of things that you've learned. Again, I don't want you to record it while you're learning it. I want you to go back and record it once you know what you're doing. Okay, same thing. All right, Jason, your thoughts, your comments.
All right. In my case, all of these are overwhelming, to be honest. But after hearing your thought or your comments, Dr. Billy, with the help of Mary, with the team that we have from this company, I'm very much excited, to learn and to get to know everything, especially with the process, how it start, in the middle, and how it ends. So, you know, just looking forward to know everything and eventually be an expert, in handling the process.
Good. Here's the word I want you guys to take out of your vocabulary. Everything. Okay? Take that word out of your vocabulary. I don't need you to learn everything. I just need you to learn the things that are priority as we teach them to you. Eventually, you will know most of the things that you need to know. And the things that you don't know, you'll be able to go back and reference them through video or through training aids or through whatever. I just need you to be able to do. Okay? This is not school where I'm going to test you on your memory. Okay. This is an actual application. If you don't know, can you go back and find how to do it? That's what's most important. Can you go back and find how to do it? Either because you took good notes, or because there's a video that explains it, or because we gave you a step-by-step PDF, or we gave you a checklist on how to do it. So get rid of this everything, because when you think about everything, it's overwhelming. That's like
Yeah.
walking into a library and saying, I'm going to read every book in this library. Okay. I want to spend a whole week in here and I want to know everything in the library. Does that make sense? No.
yes,
It's the same thing here.
Yes.
We're not expecting you to know everything about running an insurance agency. We just expect you to learn the tasks and roles and the jobs that we need you to learn to best benefit the agency. And over time, you'll know a whole lot of stuff. So that's, yeah. Don't walk in here tomorrow saying, I'm going to learn everything. And no, you're not. So don't even try. That's why we broke these things down into boxes. So once we know you know your agency standards, then we'll move on to how to audit the policy for standards. Once we know you know how to do that, then we'll teach you how to do the review form. Once we know you know how to do that, we'll take you. I mean, we have a step, we have a process. You just need to follow the process. That's all. Don't walk in tomorrow feeling like you're going to know everything in the agency, because that will be overwhelming, Jason.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Mary told me I only had 30 minutes with you, and I'm gonna take the boss ladies. You know, not gonna usurp the boss lady. So, all right. Mary, do you have anything you want to end with before I let everyone go? Get back to work.
Just let's go one day at a time. That's
Yeah.
enough.
Exactly. One day at a time. Well, guys, I appreciate you being here, and I'm excited to work with you guys. And Mary, they're all yours.
Okay.
You
All
got
right.
Thank you, Dr. Willie.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.